What's going on, guys? Global King back at another video, and today we're back in NBA 2K18 Myteam, and today I'm bringing you guys a squad builder, and that squad builder is built around the theme of March Madness. So every one of these players either had some crazy highlight in March Madness or crazy performance in March Madness, and that is why they're in this lineup. So at the starting point guard position, we got this 95 overall diamond Steph Curry. So for Steph Curry, he actually did not get to the Final Four. He only went to the Elite 8 in the March Madness tournament, but his team Davidson was ranked a 10 seed, and they had never won a March Madness game before. So for them to be able to even get to the Elite 8 led by Steph Curry is just unbelievable. And in those 4 games to get to the Elite 8, Steph Curry ended up averaging 32 points a game, and in the opening win against Gonzaga, he actually dropped 40 points. So yeah, Steph Curry is just a legend, and that's why he's on this team. Moving on to the starting shooting guard position, we got this 94 overall amethyst David Thompson. So for David Thompson, he was a legend in college in general. He had a bunch of high scoring games in college in general, but specifically in March Madness in 1974, he did win the national championship with NC State. And to get to the national championship game, he actually upset UCLA in the Final Four. And the reason this was so significant was because UCLA was going for their 8th consecutive national title, and NC State, led by David Thompson, was able to stop UCLA from winning their 8th consecutive national title. And in this Final Four game, David Thompson had 28 points along with 10 rebounds to get the W. So David Thompson was just an all-around beast in March Madness and in college in general, and that is why he is in this lineup. And at the small forward position, we got this 89 overall Ruby Carmelo Anthony. So for Carmelo Anthony, he actually led Syracuse to its first and only national title in 2003 as a freshman, which is very impressive. He averaged over 20 points throughout the tournament, and he ended up scoring 33 points in a Final Four game against Texas, which is a current record for a freshman in a Final Four game. And also in the national championship against Kansas, he did have a double-double to give them the W. And yeah, he's just kind of a legend in March Madness. The fact that he was able to do this as a freshman and give Syracuse its first and only title means he's in this lineup. And so at power forward, we're actually going to be starting this 93 overall amethyst Hakeem Olajuwon. So for Hakeem Olajuwon, he never actually led his team to a national championship, but he did lead his team to 3 consecutive Final Four appearances, which is pretty nice. And he also consistently averaged double-doubles. He had plenty of games where he had 20 points and basically 20 rebounds in March Madness alone, as well as college. So he's a March Madness legend just because of the fact that he was able to lead his team to 3 consecutive Final Fours. And he's also the only player to ever be named the most outstanding player in the tournament from a losing team. So he's kind of a March Madness legend for that, so therefore he's going to be used in this lineup. And at center, we got 98 overall diamond Shaquille O'Neal. So not even specifically in March Madness, but in college in general, Shaq was just a beast. He was one of the most dominant players in college basketball history, and he dominated in March Madness as well. He does actually hold the March Madness in-game record for most blocks in a game, and he did get 11 in 1992 for LSU. So that alone, in my opinion, means he deserves to be in this lineup. And obviously, since I'm doing a college March Madness lineup, I think it's kind of disrespectful to leave Shaq out of it, so that's why he's in this lineup. Moving on to the bench, at backup point guard, we got this 92 overall amethyst Kemba Walker. So Kemba Walker led UConn to one of, if not the best March run in college basketball history. Starting in the conference tournament, moving on to March Madness, they went on an 11-game win streak to win the championship in 2011. And for the March Madness tournament, Kemba Walker ended up averaging 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, and he is 5'11", so the fact that he could grab 6 rebounds throughout the tournament is really impressive. Notable scoring moments, he had 36 points against San Diego State and 33 points against Cincinnati. And even though it wasn't part of March Madness, the highlight that Kemba Walker had in the conference tournament against Pittsburgh is just one of the greatest highlights in college basketball history, where he hits that step back game winner. So yeah, he deserves to be in this lineup. Backup shooting guard, we got 94 overall amethyst CJ McCollum. So CJ McCollum played for Lehigh in college, and in 2012 they were the 15th ranked seed going up against the number 2 seed Duke. And in this game, CJ McCollum led Lehigh to one of the biggest upsets in college basketball history against Duke with 30 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds. Anytime a 15 seed is able to beat a 2 seed, it's just unbelievable. And the player that ended up leading the 15 seed to beat the 2 seed in this case was CJ McCollum, and that's why he's in this lineup. At backup small forward, we got this 88 overall Ruby Gordon Hayward. So in 2010, Gordon Hayward actually helped lead the Butler Bulldogs to the national championship, where they did lose to Duke. And I'm not sure if you guys have seen this highlight before, but if you haven't, I definitely recommend that you look it up, where Butler is down by like 2 points, I think, and they end up taking a half-court shot at the end of the game at the buzzer, and it is Gordon Hayward that takes that shot, and it just rims out off of the glass, and it would have won the game. It probably would have been the greatest buzzer beater in March Madness history. So besides getting to the national championship on the road to get to that title game, Gordon Hayward helped lead Butler in a lot of upset games, including against Syracuse, Kansas State, and Michigan State. But of course, they did fall to Duke in the national championship game. But Butler was just kind of underrated in the 2010 March Madness, and it was led by Gordon Hayward. And the fact that he almost hit the craziest buzzer beater in March Madness history, I just felt like I wanted to put him in this lineup. Backup power forward, we got this 87 overall Ruby Elvin Hayes. So Elvin Hayes in 1968 was a beast in March Madness. In 5 games that he played, he ended up having 167 points and 97 rebounds, and the 97 rebounds is actually a tournament record. And even though his team did lose in the Final Four, one of his most notable games in his March Madness run, he had 49 points and 27 rebounds for Houston, which is just a crazy stat line. And the fact that he was able to have 167 points and 97 rebounds through 5 games only in March Madness, he's a March Madness legend, one of the greatest March Madness players of all time, and that's why he's in this lineup. And at backup center, we're actually going to be running this 87 overall Ruby power forward Christian Laettner. So for the final player in this lineup, Christian Laettner is most famous for what is called the shot, which is where he hit a crazy buzzer beater in the March Madness tournament, and it's one of the greatest buzzer beaters of all time in March Madness. He also has 2 March Madness championships under his belt, so he's really one of the greatest March Madness players of all time. He was also a very efficient player in college. In one of his runs, he averaged 20 points in the tournament, and he only shot 12 shots per game, which is incredibly efficient. And the fact that he was able to do that and win 2 national championships is why he's a legend in March Madness and why he's in this lineup. So that completes the March Madness squad builder. Now these are the 10 players that I chose to use in the squad builder. And one thing I just want to say is that even though I am using these 10 March Madness players, I'm not claiming that these are the best 10 March Madness players of all time. These 10 players are just people that I saw when I was researching and figured, you know what, I kind of wanted to try them in my lineup, and they might have had better cards than other players, so that's why I chose them in this lineup. But yes, this is the lineup I'm going to be running with, and let's get into this gameplay and see how this March Madness squad builder does. I actually think we're going to do pretty good, but without further ado, let's get into the gameplay. Alright, so looks like 2K found us an opponent. Let's see who we're going up against. Does this dude have a crazy OP squad? And he really does. Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, and Chris Webber. This is going to be a very tough game. Currently down by 2. The main people we have to stop are Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. This dude's team is way too OP, and of course we're leaving somebody open. I don't know how, and now we're down 5. Good start to the game. Shaq's driving in. You got to hit that layup right there. Down by 3 right now. Melo wide open in the corner. Good release right there, and he hits it. Down by 2. We need to stop. All right, push it up to Steph. Let's see what we got on this possession. I see Melo wide open in the corner. You got to hit that. Slightly contested. Good release. Melo hits another 3. All right, let's try to get a pick and roll action with Shaq. Drive in here. Oh, you cannot leave Steph open in the corner. Catch and shoot. Hall of Fame. Steph hits it. All right, so we are putting our bench in. Hopefully they can do some work. You know, my bench is the only part of my lineup that I'm really nervous about putting into the game. Elvin Hayes gets it started for the bench with a nice dunk right there. Christian Laettner on the back cut, finished that with a dunk right there. 1-point game, first quarter starting to come to a close. All right, let's bring it up with Kemba. He's trying to do an inbound steal. Let's try to get somebody open, whoever that was on. I see Elvin Hayes open in the paint, finish that layup right there. We're tied 22. Kemba wide open in the corner. You gotta hit that. Good release right there. Amethyst Kemba Walker gives us the lead. Start of the second quarter, we're currently tied 25 apiece. The bench actually did a lot better than I thought they were going to do. Hopefully they can keep that going. Gordon Hayward wide open in the corner. Not a great release, but he gets it to go. Our bench is playing really nice right now. All right, Gordon Hayward, can you hit this mid-range? Heavily contested. That was a bad shot. Gordon Hayward bails us out. Tied 30 right now. We've kind of been going back and forth, but that's really what we're going to have to do. The only way we're really going to win this game is if we just go back and forth with this dude. I see Shaq open in the paint. You got to hit that right there. Another 2-point lead. We need to stop. Shaq's got a clear path to the lane. Spin off right there. Good move. Oh, good move, Shaq. Perfect move right there. Great spin right there. And now we got a 2-possession lead. All right, we only got 7 seconds on the shot clock. We got to get a bailout right here. Steph wide open in the corner. Green light. Let's go, Steph. David Thompson, crazy dunk right there. I think that's the first points for David Thompson. We got to get him going in the second half. Oh, blow by animation. David Thompson's getting hot. Can he hit that contested layup? He just finished his second quarter with 7 points. Start of the second half. Nice 7-point lead. We're going to have to try to maintain it, though, because obviously this dude's team is way better than mine with Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady. Let's try to start it off with a nice pick and roll. I see Melo open in the corner. Good release right there. Great start to the second half. I mean, really where all this dude's points are coming from are just bailout animations. He tried to get another one right there, but we did play great defense. David Thompson open for mid-range. Not a great release, but he was wide open, and he bails us out. 12-point lead. We're doing really well right now. All right, so we're bringing the bench in this third quarter, about halfway through, but we're just going to give the starters a little bit of a rest. Definitely don't want to get the starters too tired, and hopefully the bench can maintain this lead and we can bring the starters to close it out in the fourth. CJ McCollum wide open. Good release right there. He hits the 3. We're moving the ball very well, and that's why we got the lead. Kemba Walker nails another 3. He's got 8 points in the game. We're really starting to grow out the lead. He's just playing sloppy on offense as he does get a nice little fast break bucket right there. All right, we're leaving Peja Stojakovic. That's normally an easy bucket, but he's just missing a lot of shots, and we cannot seem to miss. Christian Leitner wide open on a back cut. He actually surprisingly has 6 points. I didn't think either of my bigs off the bench were going to do well at all. Let's throw it over to Gordon Hayward on the fast break. I see CJ McCollum back wide open in the corner. I guess it was slightly contested, but it doesn't matter. He nails another 3. Bro, we are just not missing any 3s right now. We have a 22-point lead. The bench has been going off. Another good defensive stop to end out the 3rd quarter. We are currently up by 22 going into the 4th. I did not expect this March Madness team to do that well. So we're going to leave the bench in for the start of the 4th quarter just to give the starters a little more rest. And we are up by 22 points, so there's no reason not to leave the bench in. Had to call a timeout to get the starters back into the game. It's now only a 14-point lead, and this dude's team is so OP that I just am a little bit nervous right now. I see Steph wide open. Steph Curry, green light. Let's go. All right, push it up to Melo. Another great defensive possession. Really, with this dude, all you got to do is just not jump when he's driving to the paint. Hakeem on the backside, getting that bucket to go. Bro, it's not looking good. 11-point lead, 2 minutes to go. If we choke this lead, that'd be so bad. Melo open in the corner. Good release right there. Melo put the closer right there, bro. We actually almost choked. We got a 10-point lead with under a minute to go. There's no way we should lose now. So there you guys have it. That has been the video. We actually did come out with a W with this March Madness squad builder. Carmelo Anthony was our leading scorer, tied with Gordon Hayward. They both had 14 points, and Melo shot 5 of 6, 4 for 5 from the 3-point line. Gordon Hayward was 4 for 6 from the 3-point line. David Thompson also had 9 points. Curry with 8. Shaq with 8 and 8. Kemba Walker with 8 points and 6 assists. A really well-rounded game for this entire March Madness squad builder. But shout out to my opponent. He played it very well. I did come out with a W, but he had a crazy comeback. I thought I was going to choke for a little bit there. Anyway, guys, that has been the video. Let me know in the comment section if you like these type of squad builders type of videos. I just thought since March Madness is going on right now, I'd get this video out for you guys now. But yeah, like I said, let me know in the comment section if you guys like me doing squad builders, and I should be back soon. Please leave a like if you guys enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I should be back soon. It's been Global King, and I'm out. Peace.
They put up on my nigga at the light like, nice watch, run it. Hands in the air now, hands in the